So let's get back into this. So we've already done Joe Biden, and then we've done Bernie Sanders, and the next person that's as popular is Elizabeth Warren. So I'm going to benchmark her with Andrew Yang's website, as I've said in the past videos. I'm going to use him as the benchmark. So looking at this website of Elizabeth Warren, it's kind of interesting. Like, I think there's a lot happening. The animations going on in the background, they're quite interesting, but I think it also looks like a lot's happening, if you know what I mean. Like, when you look into the website, there's kind of there's a lot of things happening, if you know what I mean. I would say if I'm trying to focus on the text, will you join our fight in our neighborhood? And then at the same time, I'm also trying to focus on the background animation. So it's kind of a distracting thing. I'd prefer just a straightforward picture, especially if you're going to have so much text on your website. And then you can click I'm in or I'm not sure yet. If you click the I'm not sure yet, it just takes you to an update list. I would have preferred that to take me to the policies. Like, at the end of the day, you're trying to convince someone, so you're not trying to go, oh, I'm not sure, and then now you have to sign up to my newsletter, and then you're going to be spammed for a while until you unsubscribe. So I think when you click on I'm not sure, it should go to the policy links, not, well, or at least not to an emailing list. I don't think that really adds any benefit to anyone until they know what they want to enroll for. So here's Andrew Yang's website, and you can see I just love that picture, that it's so just picturesque, while having the text in areas that aren't really distracting. Like, you have all this in the sky doesn't have that much, but here you've got like detailed pictures on the background, they're moving, and you're trying to read the text. I wouldn't put the text in the center, or I'd either put it up or down if you're going to have that animation. I'd say there's just too much, and they haven't even been able to include the full menu bar. Like, look at this, Andrew Yang has the whole menu bar, the whole menu just across the website, so you can just click immediately what you want, whereas here I have to click the menu and then this comes up, and then also the donation part. Like, I mean, if someone really wants to donate to you, they're going to donate to you. You don't have to like stick it in their face or like every time. Like, if I click X here and then it's at the bottom here, and then wherever you move it follows you, and then so I think, yeah, if you put something in there, it's good enough. If someone wants to donate, they will donate. You shouldn't just like, it's kind of like when you just go on a street and then someone's asking for a donation and you're like, oh, I'll think about it, and then they just keep following you until you go, oh, okay, I'll do a donation. It feels a little forced, so you probably don't want to have that. I think if, like in Andrew Yang's website, like, you have the donate bar at the top where it's, you know, it's win a trip to the July debates with Andrew Yang. So if you donate, you actually get something in terms of being able to be in his presence with him on the debates. And then you look at this donation part. This is quite fun as well. Donate to help Andrew Yang reach his Q3 fundraising goals. When we raise 500,000, a new prize will be unlocked. So that's quite exciting, that's quite interesting, and that's more engaging. Whereas this is not that engaging. Like, I wouldn't say this donation part is that engaging. You know, it's straightforward, donate this amount, and then they've got a dream big, fight hard. But it's very, in a way, cold. and I'm not too sure I like the colouring either. The colouring is not very warm either. I'm not too sure I like this green. I would have preferred white, like just because you've got a very dark background. But I guess if you prefer that colour and that's the theme of the part of the candidate, then I guess why not. And then there's all these. You can scroll through. What will Elizabeth Warren do? So equal justice under law, a foreign policy for all, strengthen our democracy, rebuild the middle class. So I'd say the one thing she's focusing on is rebuilding the middle class, and it focuses on the job parts. America needs union jobs. So in terms of, like she's got a story page like most people. The one person that stood out as not having one was Bernie Sanders. So her focus is on the whole job perspective. Elizabeth's dad sold fencing and carpeting and ended up as a building maintenance man. Her mother stayed at home with Elizabeth and her older brothers. When Elizabeth was 12, her dad suffered a heart attack and was out of work for a long time. They lost the family station wagon and were about an inch away from losing their home when her mother got a minimum wage job answering phones at Sears. That job saved their home and it saved their family. So she's kind of say what having jobs will do, but I'm not necessarily sure that you can actually create jobs as easily just because you have the right intentions. You need to put in the right mechanisms, of course. And I think, she is on board with the whole raising of minimum wages. Going to the back to the menu, so we've got issues. So whereas with Andrew Yang, we have policies. So we're unlikely to see many candidates that have the whole policy things up. And if you've watched the previous videos, I've run through some of these policies. I don't think I've clicked on a human-centered capitalism, but it is, capitalism as an economic system has led to unparalleled innovation and improvements in the human condition. Many consider it to have won the war of ideas against socialism. So I like how he's got the goals. I would have preferred the goals maybe up here, because maybe you're having to read a lot to get down here, and it's nice to put things in a very clear and concise view. I do like the guiding principles of like what it stands for, like well-being, equality, and then the goal is to make economy work for Americans, not the other way around. Direct capital to investments to improve human welfare, not to enrich the wealthiest Americans. Create measurements around people and not dollars. So Andrew Yang wants to basically create measurements, as he has put before, that it's not about measuring GDP, it's about measuring how everyone's well-being is in terms of their jobs, affordability, and all sorts of things like that. So I think he has a list down here: parenting or caring for loved ones, teaching and nurturing children, art and creativity, serving the poor, environment, reading, infrastructure, and so on. So he's put it quite well here. And let's take a look at Elizabeth. So she kind of bullet points these in a way into like these 2, 4, 6 categories, kind of like Biden as well. Like you click on one part and it kind of does a broad category. Rebuilding the middle class, I do like the way this is put. It's a good length, so it's not like over information. The one thing I might feel about this is like there's a bit too much information. If you're trying to engage a voter, maybe too much information might like put them off trying to read so much, especially about the one policy. But at the same time, you know, you kind of want them to be quite well detailed. So I think this is a nice snippet, but this is again just addressing the issues. She's called it issues, not solutions or policies. Yeah, so in terms of like what she might do to rebuild the middle class, that includes an ultra-millionaire tax on America's 75,000 richest families to produce trillions that can be used to rebuild an economy that works for everyone, including universal childcare, student loan, debt relief, and down payments on a Green New Deal, and Medicare for all. So I'm not always on board with the whole idea of, hey, let's just tax the rich. Well, at the end of the day, you got to put in a mechanism that actually works. You can't actually just go, let's tax the rich. You have to go, let's tax the rich through the income they earn on this financial year. And the problem is, a lot of the rich, they know what to do to be able to avoid it in the first place. So even if you put the tax down, you'll get some tax. But the idea that you're going to get trillions, I'm not on board with that, because I don't think it's going to be able to work the way that it doesn't sound like she has a exact way yet. She sounds like she's just going to figure this out when it comes to it. Whereas Andrew Yang actually has the whole solution that he's going to tax tech companies. Here it's like not as straightforward. If you're going to say you're going to tax individuals, those individuals don't have to make money on those financial years, and then you've got no one to tax, because you can't tax people on existing wealth that they hold. It's like if you had $1,000 in your bank account, and then I said, oh, you look awfully rich, I'm just going to take $100 out of your $1,000. It's not going to be, you're not going to be able to do that, so if someone has $1 billion and you say, I'm going to take $1 million out of your $1 billion, and they say, oh well, there's no tax legislation that I overlap, like that I'm included, that I need to pay this $1 million. So it's not necessarily foolproof. There might be 75,000, families that produce trillions, right? And then the thing is, if you tax them, they're going to produce less, because taxes don't encourage productivity, or they will encourage like cost cutting. Like if you encourage cost cutting, whose jobs go first? The people you just said you wanted to help. If you want to help the middle class, then how are you going to help them when they don't have jobs? Because you created a tax, basically a tax system that disincentivizes job creations. But again, enough on that policy. Again, she does have the Spanish part. You can change this whole website to Spanish. So every candidate so far has it except Andrew Yang. I guess there's probably no like Spanish speakers on his party yet, or at least programmers that can just implement it immediately. And then like she's got events. I did cite this as Andrew Yang. Oh right, no, he's fixed it. I'm just gonna clap, like he's done it. Like the one thing he's really done is he's someone's pointed out to him that you needed an event page, event link. He always had an event page, so kudos to him, or to the people who did it. Like I was kind of going back, I was gonna be prepared to say like there is no event tab, but I'm so glad that he added it. So this was one of the imperfections of the website, so I think right now it actually perfects it in such a good way, because especially for attracting the crowds to your events. Alright, so this is my very first time seeing this event page. Yeah, so overall, love the color scheme, nice and simple, and then it's got all the locations. You can RSVP when you like. So this is alright, like you can filter this out if you really want. I think the text is a rather bit small. It's really condensed, and then I find it a bit unnecessary with this whole picture or Warren thing. Just be more clear on the details so I don't get it wrong, in case you want to sign up, you want to go there. And even if say that you're right, say it's not that good, I'd improve the text on that. Yeah, whereas this is really good, nice and bold, very clear. Like, it doesn't have the address, so it just has a location, but I imagine if you click the RSVP, then yeah, like here, so it's pretty good. At least you know all the details, you're not going to get it wrong, and then you can do a sign up. Yep, so no, I think, yeah, I think Yang's definitely done it better on this. And I'd say Yang's done a lot better on the front page too. Okay, so this is a bit weird. So if I click on Warren, it's not going to take me back to the home page, which you would hope it does. Okay, so again, front page, it's probably the weaker one out of all the candidates I've actually looked at so far. Andrew Yang, you know, you look at that, and that's quite a mile ahead. And then, yeah, I'm not a fan of the donation part, like that it's a bottom tab here that follows you until you exit it. And yep, see the stories, that's alright. Yeah, I think we'll take a look at the merchandise. I do like the merchandise because I prefer the message rather than just having a candidate's name on it. It really doesn't, like, it doesn't give other people who see it, like, it's not the best promotional material. If you're wearing, you know, I mean, it's good to have the originals, so like Yang 2020, Yang Gang, and that works out. But it's also nice for people who, you know, if someone goes, oh, why are you voting this guy? And you go, oh, well, because we're going to get $1,000 every month, you know. So I love how, you know, Warren has a plan for that. So it's kind of like, it's a good message of, you know, why you're voting. Nevertheless, we persist. You know, I mean, these are quite airy-fairy kind of expressions. But at the end of the day, I think it's still better than just a name. You know, woman with Warren. So something like that. I'm a Warren Democrat. There's, as much as, you know, like, at least I like the precise message. I don't know, I would have gone for more like a policy orientated message. But yeah, I think Warren's got it in the right direction. Probably needs to just like correct the, like, just to change some of the things or add extra things. Yeah, so it's, you know, these signs are very politician like speeches. Warren has a plan for that. Like, as much as that's great, you know, it's very abstract. It'd be nicer if it was like Warren has a plan, rebuilding the middle class or something like that. That says a lot more. If you're trying to promote for extra voters, you want to say a bit more. Whereas right now, this is just too, you kind of have to be a supporter to understand what the message means. Yeah, nice. So far, like, the merchandise it's still pretty good. I do like it. I think the whole messages part, like, Warren has the right idea, not necessarily the right messages entirely on the clothing, like, could be better. I'm not gonna, yeah, I think the should just have a bit more of a decisive message on it. But yeah, no, I won't dwell too much on that. But I'd say, like, I do like the Yang Gang merchandise more, but I think Elizabeth has a bit more of the right direction of what her merchandise should be. I would like to see the whole $1,000 a month on a t-shirt. Like, if you're a supporter, you just have to wear the t-shirt and it says it all. Definitely love the donation part. So I'd say, you know, again, I'm gonna have to give Elizabeth the Spanish part because, you know, there's no Spanish on here so far. I don't know how much of a, you know, disparity that makes in terms of voter engagement, but I guess the extra language is going to be helpful. I do like the store part, but apart from that, you know, I'm going to have to go with Yang again. He's done a donation part better, the front page better. You know, I do like the whole how the menu links are spread across, and kudos for the event, you finally got that up. Whereas Elizabeth, her menu bar's down here, you have to click on it before things pop up. Front page everything is really, you know, there's too much going on that I don't like. You know, it's keep it simple. Yeah, so there's too much, yeah, like firstly there's too much going on. It'd be nicer to condense the color scheme to maybe 2, maybe 3 colors. Right now there's 4, so just 1 color too much. But apart from that, yeah, and then it just this one, I don't quite like how the scrolling for this is. It's a bit, it's okay. Like, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I do like, yeah, that's not a bad transition for all these. Yeah, so I think I just make a decision, and I just say Yang's probably winning on the website designs and all that. Yeah, out of all the websites I've seen so far, I'd say Warren's is probably the weaker one. Probably be Andrew Yang, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and then Elizabeth Warren. But that's just my personal opinion. Feel free to let me know. Like, go through, watch all the videos, rank all the websites, let me know below. And thank you for the time. Do appreciate like spending the time watching this and all the other videos. Hopefully I won't have to wait for too long until the next one. Until then, yeah, happy research.